yelling at Reddit clouds, beyond streaming numbers, and Spider-Gzam? Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear, powered by scrolling, replacing reading, and brought to you by No Disc, helping music, technology, and finance companies navigate the music industry, and partnered with Digital Music News. It's August 19th, 2026. I'm Lars Murray. It's Viral Wednesday, but before we go viral, there's been a lot of talk lately about how relevant hip-hop is. Headlines like, is hip-hop the new rock in terms of its cultural currency? Luminate's reports have shown that hip-hop, while still a huge cultural force, I give you Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, and Travis Scott, has leveled off and even lost market share to other genres. Of course, a lot of this market share handoff is to Latin, which arguably, if you look at, say, Bad Bunny, is pretty hip-hop derived, but hip-hop is also a pretty broad umbrella, and like rock before it, it has spawned subgenres and subcultures, even if its dominance is fragmenting. If you're looking for a handy-dandy close-up look at the current state of hip-hop for Gen Z, over at Music Business Worldwide, Diana Umana, or Lottie, a prolific writer and creator and hip-hop critic, published a guest editorial entitled Why Gen Z's Most Culturally Powerful Rappers Aren't Its Biggest Stars. Well, it depends on how you define stars, and maybe, she argues, streaming numbers ain't it. In an age of fragmentation, maybe it's a good idea to take a look beyond those streaming numbers. Don't watch Drake, watch his collaborator Molly Santana, or watch Che, or Osamason. Maybe it's that Playboi Carti and Future have supplanted the mass market rappers in terms of influence, even if the streaming numbers don't show it. Of course, any real hip-hop marketer knows this already, but for those of us olds making 90s references and even millennials making aughts references, it may not be as obvious if you aren't making a daily effort to stay steeped in the culture or getting fed the most interesting stuff by the algo. It's never a good idea to get too comfortable in a set of assumptions in this industry or in tech or finance. Well, I guess that covers all three of our focuses. Don't get too comfy. If I'm going to assign a must-read of the week, it would be this one over at Music Business Worldwide. All right, let's get viral. No! That is my primal scream response to Sarah Perez's reporting over at TechCrunch that Reddit is moving more toward a TikTok or Instagram-style user experience. I'll confess, I'm addicted to Reddit. I'll also confess that I am an old. I will also confess that I'm a little self-righteous about my aversion to doom-scrolling video. We all have our thresholds of algorithmic tolerance, and certainly Reddit is using an algorithm to feed me. But my personal threshold is that when an algorithm is feeding me video rather than text, I get rather impatient with the choices it's making for me, which is why over the years I've gravitated to Reddit over those other two platforms. Oh yeah, not even mentioning Facebook anymore. Even an old like me isn't going there. Anyway, Reddit being text-based is the hill I will die on or the cloud I will die yelling at. On Monday, Reddit started experimenting with native video and audio in selected communities in pursuit of those sweet, sweet video and audio dollars. Now, to be fair to Reddit, its CEO Steve Hoffman pointed out that folks are already scraping Reddit and creating AI video podcasts for posting on TikTok and Insta, so it makes sense that Reddit might want to keep that content in the family. Fair enough. Personally, I'm hoping the pilot fails. Don't get me wrong, I want Reddit to be healthy and profitable, but if these other revenue streams prove to be superior for Reddit, that slippery slope of enshittification is certain to follow. So, if you're a Reddit user, dear God, in the name of all things holy, please downvote the hell out of this and let us have our nice thing. I don't want to have to wait another decade to get the thing that started with the Usenet back in the day, text-based forums that encourage active rather than passive user engagement and real, actual community. Cloud rant over. On a slightly lower level of enshittification, Instagram is making a big change too. I guess someone over at Meta decided that Instagram needed to look a little more like Threads, so they've given the Instagram logo a little facelift. Over at Social Media Today, Andrew Hutchinson reported that Instagram head Adam Mosseri rolled out a new logo earlier this week, noting that, quote, a refreshed feel could help reinvigorate the app. Hey, Reddit CEO Steve Hoffman, take note. If Instagram needs a refreshed brand system and to be, quote, reinvigorated, maybe Instagram isn't the rabbit you want to follow down that hole. Just saying. As Garth from Wayne's World said so many years ago, we fear change. and unsurprisingly, many Instagram users were not particularly pleased, noting that the R in Instagram now looks like a Z. Welcome to Spider-Gzam, which sounds like a reboot of a Shaquille O'Neal movie. If you get those references, all the more reason you should be reading Diana Umani's hip-hop piece. That's the last of my 90s references for today. Of course, the Instabrand reboot also created a whole bunch of extra work for the digital worker bees of the music industry, who will now have to be updating their links and icons. Thanks a lot, Adam. As for what's actually viral this week, well, the overall shape of things, TikTok is leaning into the relatable comedic story format sounds that have been popular all summer, like bob haircuts, red flags, and mock documentaries. Over on TikTok, Ariana Grande's Pedal is driving all kinds of things on TikTok: fan edits, fashion, food, and pet clips, never mind the debate on her health. Our viral for the olds on TikTok this week is You Make My Dreams by Hall & Oates. It's driving a how different our lives are trend, where creators compare two wildly different routines side by side and trying to find the humor in contrasting lifestyles. Over on the gram, well, maybe this week we should just call it Spider-Gzam, or maybe Spider-Gzam. 3 songs are being driven by Spider-Man this week: Loser by Tame Impala, Oh Yeah by Steve Lacy, and Bad Bunny's EU, which was already a mega smash. Heck, it was even performed on the Super Bowl halftime show. Now it's riding its inclusion to a new viral wave. Our viral correspondent Lydia Valentino is with us this week. What do you got, Lydia?
Hey, Lars. Pink Blush by Dallas rapper Dolly Babe is number 4 on US Shazam. It's got a simple hook that takes up most of the song, and it sounds like it was recorded on an iPhone. And I wonder if this year, in the age of Sonato imposters, the lack of polish from this, or that Pubsy single a few weeks ago, or even Steve Lacy's new album, that rawness is now part of the viral appeal.
Thank you, Lydia. You can check out Lydia's V30 playlist on YouTube. There is a link in the show notes. And that's another Viral Wednesday. Support for Unlimited Supply is provided by you, our listeners. Sign up for a full year of support of Unlimited Supply, and you'll get the full year's membership at a 20% discount. You'll also get a limited edition Unlimited Supply merit badge trucker hat, just like our listener of the week, J.D. Tuminski. It is the ultimate accessory for the music industry insider. It's available at our online store, and there's a link in the show notes. If you like what you hear, go buy a hat, or at least please hit that follow button wherever you get your pods. I live for your praise and encouragement in person, but it helps a lot more if you drop us a rating and or a review on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify, and tell a friend or 3. And now we're on Substack too. If you want to see us every day, please subscribe. Don't just follow us, subscribe. That way we'll hit you every day. Links are in the show notes, but you can also visit unlimitedsupplypod.com to sign up for our newsletter, to tell us what you think about the show, to suggest feature ideas, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, to call us out on our dubious assertions, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict means no interest.